evening, everybody. Joe Tessitore alongside Teddy Atlas, and welcome to the Staples Center in downtown Los Angeles, California, for our main event of the evening. 12 rounds of welterweight action between these two great warriors. Berto's ring walk, something special in the air. You can just sense it out of him. He's making his way to the ring with a determined giddy-up in his step.
Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, the Beast, Berto. His opponents in the blue corner, please welcome Jacob.
Okay, guys, we went over the rules in the dressing room. You know what to do. Just touch gloves.
36 minutes still ahead of him here, round 1 of 12. We expect a high work rate among these two fighters. Now, do you want to see that same work rate throughout the whole fight? Or is that your expectation?
I'd love to, because we'd be having a good time, and our fans, they're going to enjoy it.
Blocks away that headshot. Tried to land that upstairs and was off the mark. Solid right hands headline that exchange. He took a shot, but he came back with a right hand of his own. Berto's showing some swelling now. Halfway through round number 1. Good block. Berto's eye, to me, is getting worse as things continue on here. Teddy, he's got to be very conscious of that, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does, and his corner has to be too. They got to be thinking about, if it gets to a point where he can't defend himself, they have to do something. Obviously, they didn't come here thinking they were going to have to stop this fight.
Parries that punch intended for the head. Very clever move there. A little defense turns to offense. The counter punch by the Beast. It is a seesaw battle early on here. Amazing stuff out of these two. Return to sender. He gives him back one of his own. Berto's coming up with the answers, avoiding that punch. Putting his punches together, good combination by the Beast from the east. Last 10 seconds. Coming to the end of this round. Joe and Teddy with you ringside. Teddy, a round like that where it's a lot of busy activity and both guys being busy. When you were a trainer, are those the kind of rounds that you prefer, or do you like the pace to be a little slower? It does depend on each guy.
No, if I have a fighter, I'd rather have a guy fighting a guy that you never see him. Leave me the heck alone. And where I'm in control all the time. But the fans love to see a fight like that.
Body, bang, the body, hits the body. Get on that.
2 is underway. Pulls the trigger fast. Able to counter that attack. Well-placed shot after landing there again. And that's what fighters do. Pulls the trigger right away after taking one. Able to block that away. It was targeted for his head. Needs to improve that accuracy. Missed with the headshot. Able to get rid of that one.
What does a fighter need to do to really build the foundation to a great career?
Well, first of all, they have to have the desire to have that great career. There has to be...
Oh! Berto's stunned and he is hurt. Chico's just making some room for himself here. To go in what has been a memorable round. Great stuff from these two. Parries that punch away. Once again to the head. Multiple punches coming in now. You can see there's blood on his cheek. There's the headshot, but he parries it away. Final 10 seconds of round number 2. Round comes to an end. And that's one of those rounds, Teddy, that just takes on a certain style, a certain characteristic, and that was a busy one.
Yeah, it was a busy one. Look, Joe, you don't have to look for these guys. They're right there in front of you.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think sometimes you just get those rounds where it all happens?
Because of styles. You know, styles make fights. In this case, you're seeing proof of that right there. Both guys that are aggressive, both guys that are very confident.
You have to start throwing more in volume in there. Throw in volume.
Here we are, a new round underway, and in that last round, he got tagged. He got hit pretty hard, Teddy.
Yeah, he did. He got caught. Now, the first thing is, we all know he got caught, but why did he get caught? He has to be able to decipher that in his head. He has to be able to have the answer to that so it doesn't happen again.
Berto's got to deal with a cut cheek. Very nice job landing that counter punch, getting away from one that was coming at him. What a chin. Can you believe the shots this guy's absorbing?
And more importantly, can his opponent believe it? You know what? You want to hit a guy, so you figure that that's a good thing, that's an encouraging thing. This is a case where his opponent might get discouraged just by seeing his guy take those kind of shots.
to the halfway point of this third round. Berto's learning a real hard lesson here, and it's that a corner man can only do so much when you're dealing with this amount of swelling around the eye.
Yeah, you have that end swell in the corner. Of course, it's a piece of metal that you put in ice. It gets very cold. It retains the cold, and you place it on the swelling. But once it gets started, as you alluded to, Joe, it's tough to stop it. You got to get that ice or get that end swell on it early on before that swelling gets started, before it gets to this kind of place.
It's been 2 minutes of non-stop action. Now the final minute has arrived. He took a shot, but he gives one of his own. A left hand scores. Very clever move there. A little defense turns to offense. The counter punch by the Beast. Berto's winning the fight to me based on his overall speed. He's just a faster, quicker fighter, and it's making it so that he's able to employ his ways and get the best of his opponent.
Oh, he has that physical asset, no doubt about it. You can see it. But he has to be careful that he doesn't get carried away. He doesn't get reckless with that speed.
Last 10 seconds of round number 3. A little defense turns to offense by Chico. And this round comes to an end. It is a round that was highly entertaining. These guys really put forth quite an effort.
Well, they both have high engines. They have motors that never stop going.
Double the jab. All right, look, he's timing you. Every time you come in, I want to see that double jab. Double jab right, okay?
Here we go with the 4th round. Not able to land the headshot. He's just not concentrating on the body as a target here, Teddy.
No, and, you wouldn't mind if he didn't have to. In other words, it all depends on the scenario. This scenario says that he should be going to the body, and he should recognize that. And that's part of the talent of a fighter, recognition, that you have to recognize where the opportunities are.
Teddy, you can see quite clearly that cut is becoming a major problem for him. What does he have to do strategically here to deal with it?
Well, there's 3 lines of defense, Joe, whether you cut or you're not cut. One is use your legs, get out of range a little bit. The other is move your head, the other is block. He has to pick one of those defensive strategies, one of those choices, and put it into place.
He got hit, but he sends it right back. Boy, that's a big gash there on the cheek. That's a good block by Chico.
Keep working the jab.
That wasn't able to land. He tried to nab him up top, but was unable to connect. 1 minute to go in a round that feels like an all-time classic. Punch for punch, they're meeting each other.
Keep the head moving.
Able to dismiss his opponent's shot and then comes back with an uppercut. Nice block by Chico. Nice block by the Beast from the east. We come to the end of the round. A round that I'm having a tough time trying to think about who won. I can only imagine what the judges are thinking about. Teddy, if there's one thing you look for in a round like that and say, okay, I'm going to give it to this guy over this guy, what is it?
Well, the first thing is, if I'm a judge, I take a little notepad and I make a little mark down, blue and red corner, what he did early. Because sometimes a judge has a tendency to forget what was done early and only go with what went late.
Let's get on that swelling. Get on the swelling.
Teddy, what do you think here as we start this round? I mean, you watch what he did in that last round, and you got to think that he can get himself back into this fight.
Well, that's how he's got to be thinking, and that's kind of what he's made up of. He's not a front runner. You know, he's not a fast starter anyway. He's the kind of guy that his real strength is to be able to weigh you down and to have a great resolve and to be able to chip away. He's chipping.
Now, this is a very exciting fight. It's been evenly fought, but it just has the feel of a fight that's going to go the distance. It doesn't look like any one guy is going to take control over the other.
No, when somebody makes up their mind, I am not being knocked out, I am staying, they usually stay. These guys are here for the night.
Digs in with a good solid uppercut after taking a shot. Oh, they both land flush with uppercuts. Berto's giving us a taste of some of that athletic ability, that hand speed right there. Good combination.
And his opponent, though, now is going to have to show us that he can do something to sort of, you know, adjust to this, to counter this. And that's going to be controlling range and timing, because he can't match up with the physical hand speed.
Good work with the combination, putting his punches together, and it's paying off.
Yeah, it is paying off. You know, the first couple didn't get there, but he caught him on the back end.
Berto's doing a good job of putting his punches together. His opponent's got to be wondering, how do I stop this?
Well, right now, you made a good point there, because right now his opponent is wondering too much. You know, he's just busy blocking the punches, wondering about the combinations. He's not getting off.
Return to sender. He gives him back one of his own. Able to dismiss his opponent's shot, and then comes back with an uppercut. The twists and turns and the non-stop battle, it continues on as we've reached the 1 minute mark to go. Not hitting his mark there, going upstairs. I don't know how they are keeping this up. They are setting such a scorching pace of action in this fight. And that is some good job, just striking his target twice in a row by Berto. What a good war this has been. What a good, solid fight it's been. The kind of fight that tells me somebody wants to get rid of the other guy.
It almost looks like they made a deal where neither one could win by decision, where if they didn't win by knockout, it doesn't count.
The cut's nothing. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We'll take care of the cut. It's nothing. A small cut, nothing to worry about. And just focus on the fight. We'll take care of this swelling. Get on that. Get on that.
Back to live action now in what has been a closely contested fight. One of those fights that somebody is still waiting to break through and be a difference maker in. Berto's cheek is ripped open right there. You can see the cut. Showing you some defense there with the block. Nice block that time. It was intended to the head. turned his offense off. You can see that he's just in an extreme defensive posture. But still, his opponent is scoring here.
Look, the extreme defensive posture is a problem. But if he was moving his head with his hands up, at least there'd be misses there. When his opponent would miss, there'd be an opening to come back where even if you didn't come back, his opponent would be a little worried about sitting in there on you. He'd have to think defense. Right now, he's only thinking offense.
Chico's showing that he's got some defense of his own. He got away from that punch. Chico's sitting here wondering why he's getting hit so much. How about this? You're not moving your head at all.
Well, how about don't wonder about it? You weren't taught that probably in the gym. You didn't work on that in the gym. Well, it's not going to come to you suddenly when you're in the arena.
We've seen this many times before, and maybe that time has arrived for him now. He's got a bad cut, so possibly a sense of urgency here that he's got to get after it and make something happen now before the fight ends.
Yeah, and it could be a good and bad. I know that you like to say there's always a silver lining in every great cloud, but you say, how could that be when a guy's cut? But if it gets this fighter now motivated and inspired to pick up his offense, something that he hasn't been doing, well, you know what? His corner will take it. They'd rather do without the bleeding, but they need those punches to start flowing.
Teddy, this is one of those moments where you just wish you could pick up the phone and call up the world and say, tune in. Everybody should be watching this, right?
I have a cell phone. I might do that right now.
Start dialing. There's a taste of the sweet science. You see the skill he has in counterpunching.
And you know what?
And the night is over. That cut causes an end to the evening. A TKO victory.
Calls a halt to the fights by way of TKO.
Berto's your winner by TKO. Teddy, another impressive performance by him.
In every way, defensively, offensively.